Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino, which is me, James Scaresbrook. I have come back from a really lovely weekend away. Went to Dunkeld, which is in Western Victoria, to the Royal Mile Hotel for dinner with my lovely partner Victoria and with some friends. Had a great weekend. And on the way, I stopped in at Grampians, in the Grampians region, at Mount Langi Ghiran. You may have heard my episode of the Vincast podcast with Ben Haines, who is the head winemaker of Mount Langi Ghiran. And he took me through a fantastic tasting of Mount Langi wines, including, I think it was six vintages of the Langi Shiraz. Maybe it was four vintages of Langi Shiraz. And some Rieslings as well. But he also took me through a couple of the wines that he makes himself from different fruit sourcing here in Victoria, and also one that he made in France in the 2010 vintage, which was fantastic. But he actually gave me a bottle to take away with me, which is the Underwood's Syrah 2013 vintage, which comes from Steele's Creek, in the Yarra Valley, which is just to the east of Victoria. Really, for me, is an amazingly underrated Syrah region. I think it really has a nice balance between cool climate, depending on the site, but also, nice full expression. And so I believe the recommended retail is about $50 for this wine. So I thought I would open it up and share my impressions with you. Hope everyone had a nice weekend and had a nice time going and voting, and depending on the result, whether you actually we still don't know the result, do we? But you toasted with some nice wines. Fairly subtle, but still has some nice intensity to it. There are some nice kind of spicy dark fruits in there. Some darker berries, blueberries, blackberries. A very subtle sort of spicy, peppery edge to it. Some clove, but I'm just starting to pick up a nice little hint of some savoury, umami sort of notes. Some saltbush. Yeah, very subtle, but also very inviting. Let's taste. Yeah, nice and expressive on the mid palate here. Some bright fruits on the front palate, consistent with the aromatics. Very nice, subtle spice characters. It's not really intense. I'm not sure if this is whole bunch or not. I would say it's probably less. Like you do tend to see a lot more tightness with particularly 100% whole bunch Syrah, particularly from the Yarra Valley. There's some nice softness, which has possibly come from some mature barrel work. But look, this is a really delicious wine. It's quite, it's not like really heavy and juby. Definitely not alcoholic. It's quite fresh, but there is some nice poise to it with a little bit of expression, particularly on the mid palate. So a really excellent wine. I do highly recommend going out and buying some Ben Haines wines. And definitely, if you haven't already, have a listen to the episode of the Vincast podcast talking about Ben's background and his journey to where he is now. But thank you, Ben, and your lovely wife Jacqueline, for welcoming Victoria and I for lunch. It was a wonderful visit. Thank you very much for the wine, and look forward to catch up with you again soon. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button below. I'd love for you to leave a comment as well, ask a question, maybe share an experience you've had with Ben Haines wines, or if you have listened to the podcast. And as always, come and visit me at intrepidwino.com. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But until next time, cheers.